don't want to do this. That's you defeating yourself. You can have the right knowledge, but you're defeating yourself because you're not into this. So you might even have the right knowledge, but you won't use it correctly because you just don't have the right attitude. So you have to take all these things into consideration. But most importantly is the correct knowledge, the right knowledge. And we don't have it because if we had it, we would not continue to be on social media 24 hours a day in and day out, complaining about this condition and asking, what can we do? What should I do? What did I do? You know, you're still doing the same thing. So here we are, and this truth has arrived, but y'all don't want it. What is this truth? What is the solution? There's only one real solution. There's only one correct knowledge, and that is what we call Operation Exodus Mississippi. It's the answer. It's the solution. And I want you to debate me. I want you to challenge me on this. I want you to do that. You won't last long. That's guaranteed. Because, like I said, all these other things y'all been trying. It's like putting a round peg in a square hole. You can't do it. It's not getting the job done. You don't like the truth because maybe you don't like Angel Snubbing Upset. That's bad business. It's bad business. You should like, if I'm thirsty and I really need water, you can't trip off, well, I don't like that kind of bottle. When you're really thirsty and you need to quench yourself, it don't make no difference what vessel that water is in. The only thing you want to know, can I drink that without it killing me and quench my thirst? That's the most important thing. I love all of us. I love all of us out here in the community. We are the best produced by our community. We really are. We are the best. And all of you, all of us have water that's good to drink. And I'm not going to deny, I listen to those who are Kemetic. I listen to my Christian brothers and sisters. I listen to the Nation of Islam. I listen to those who are in the Black Panther. I listen to all of us. I'm not tripping off the vessel. I'm listening for that truth. I'm listening for that right knowledge and bring that right knowledge together. And if you bring it all together, you're going to get Operation Exodus Mississippi, because that's what it is. It's about adjoining. It's about unification. Some of y'all don't want that though. Y'all want a slave plantation. Really, you don't really want that. You really want to copy your massa, and you really want people to be like you. You want to bring folks onto your plantation. That's not what we're doing here. I'm not trying to convert you to no religion. I'm not trying to convert you to no ideology. I want to convert you to your liberation. Once you get free, I don't know what you're going to do. I just want us to be liberated and free from oppression. Once you get liberated, that's the first step. That's the most important step, is your liberation. I don't care all this other stuff that you're talking about. If you're not liberated, if you're not free, it means nothing. So you can be Kemetic, but you still live with your racist oppressor. What do that mean? I'm an African. Don't mean nothing. You're still living with white folks. I'm a Native American. It don't mean no difference. You're still living with white folks and you're still being oppressed. So what? I'm a Christian. You're still living with an oppressor. So what does that? Or don't mean nothing. You don't act like. And we don't even act like. I don't think we take this serious. We don't act like oppressed people. We always complaining. The white man is. And ooh, sister, you done joined the video call 2 times. Sister Rashid on the video 2 times. She want to hear this double.
No, I want to join in under my main account. I realized I don't know my main account.
Okay, all right. Okay. But we don't act like an oppressed people. So I don't think that you really take yourself serious. Do you take yourself serious? How can we call ourselves an oppressed people and people looking at us, oh, those African Americaners, they always talk about they oppressing the white man and the gender mendering and whatever other complaints we always have in this country. We oppressed. People always doing something to us. Police brutality. But look how we living. driving the fancies of cars. You know, a lot of us even show off our money, houses. We got a husband, maybe more than one. Got a wife, maybe more than one. I mean, we don't act like an oppressed people. I don't think we even take ourselves serious. So if we don't take ourselves serious and we're not taking this situation serious, and that's why you can't unite with Angel Snub Nub 7. That's why you cannot unite with those brothers and sisters who Kemetic or Nation of Islam or any of us. You cannot connect and want to unify because you really don't feel that you're an oppressed people. Because if you felt oppressed, just like Malcolm said, by any means necessary, any means necessary. I don't have to like you. You don't have to like me. We have a common enemy, and once we get this common enemy off our back, then you can go do what you was doing. But we have a common enemy, we have common problems, and if you really want a solution to that, then we must come together unified. But you're not doing that because you're not oppressed, because you eat 3 meals a day, and you're comfortable. That's why. You don't need me because you eat every day. You don't need me to eat. You don't need Louis Farrakhan to eat. You don't need Al Sharpton to eat. You don't need Umar Johnson to eat. You don't need nobody. You don't need nobody. That's the reason why you do what you do. I'm doing my own thing. But you're still oppressed living in America and you complain that you got a problem. I'm doing my own thing. Because you don't need me. Until we realize we need us, then nothing's going to change. Until we begin to embrace right knowledge, nothing is going to change. Nobody takes us serious because we don't take ourselves serious. When I was locked up in that crazy house, people did not want to be around me because the only thing I talked about was, I want out. I want out. I want out. They'll bring some girl or female to my room late at night when things is all quiet and things is you could do some things. I told her, get out. Yeah, but I got all, and she was looking good. Some of them. I'm not prejudiced or nothing, but as soon as the white girl showed up at 12 midnight, you got to get out. I ain't a white girl. I'm sorry, y'all got to get out. But some of the sisters would come to your room 1, 2 in the morning, and some of them was, you know, but I had to tell them, you got to get out. Because my liberation and my freedom is more important than whatever you think that you're going to bring me tonight. I want out of here. I want out. I want out. I want out. See, some of y'all do the same thing. You know, your penis and your vagina control you. That's more important than your liberation. You know, watching the Real Housewives of Atlanta is more important than your liberation. Here you got a situation in Chicago. They keep talking about the high crime rate, the high crime rate in Chicago. Some of that can be instantly stopped if you had real men that lived in Chicago. Because as men, these men get together and they tell the criminal element or whoever is in that neighborhood, say, I don't know what y'all doing, but you got to get out of here. You know, my grandmother wants to spend time on her porch without bullets flying over her head. Our children need to go to school without bullets. And I know y'all need to make a living selling drugs or prostitution, whatever y'all doing now, but you can't do it here. Go find some weak men and you can do that in that neighborhood, but you're not going to do that here. Men could do that. And men understand that some men might have to die in the process, but it's all good because you're not going to bring that here. And any criminal element will leave because they don't have time to be messing with problems like that. They're going to live. That's bad for business. They would rather go somewhere where they don't have to deal with crap like that. But I'm not making mockery. I'm just making an observation. If there were real men, see, these men work jobs, 8, 10 hours or whatever. The only thing they want to do is go home and get a beer and tell their wife to strip after the football game is over. That type of thing. They have no concern in the protection of their neighborhoods, their community. That's not the mentality of a man. Men, from what I was told, y'all tell me that men are supposed to protect and provide for their family, their women, and their children. So clearly the men of Chicago and any of these other black communities, and you have all this high crime rate from a criminal element, clearly the men not doing what they're supposed to do. We're going to wait for the police. I mean, of course, you know, you're going to have to respect the police. They are the authority. But as men, we have a responsibility. And you tell the criminal element. Matter of fact, most of these persons are our own children. We know who these people are. They are our, well, sometimes it's female, but y'all know most of the times it's male. You know it's your nephew. You know it's your daddy. You know it's your cousin. We know who these people are. We need to set our people straight. We need to get our people to do better. We know who these people are. But you're not men. You're not men standing up. And see, this is the reason why we have a Cynthia G. This is the reason why we have China Fox. This is the reason why we have all these sisters out here crying, because see, they crying out, looking out for men. Because if we stood up as men, control and get the men together, Cynthia G has nothing else to say. What else can she say when you're doing what you're supposed to do? All these women that y'all said bash black men, they have nothing to say when we as men do what we're supposed to do. Even if it means we go to the grave. Matter of fact, it makes us look even better in the eyes of womanhood, because they were like,
oh shit. My bad, bro.
All right, thank you. Sorry for that little interruption there, y'all. But it makes us look better when we're doing what we claim that we're supposed to be doing, that is to protect our women and children, protect our community. It makes us look better. So when you're doing that, what else can they say? Running around here, Cynthia G got a weave and makeup and all that, and so-and-so is fat. That makes us look more pitiful and pathetic. That's all that it does. The hair-headed hooligan and all these names that we call our sisters. When you become a man and show these women that you're a man, when they see your strength, whatever you want, believe me, you don't have to ask. They're going to give it to you. When those women know that you want them to have natural hair, watch, they'll just start doing it. You don't have to get on YouTube and they should wear natural hair. They should no. When they want to please their man, and she knows that her man wants her with her natural hair, she'll just do it. You don't have to worry about all that. She just do it. But when you don't want to take responsibility for yourself, then you need to point the finger and get the pressure off yourself. And y'all never point the finger at the real problem, which is living in a racist society. That's the problem. But that's how it is when you're dealing with people suffering from abuse. People suffering from abuse point fingers at everybody except the abuser. He was a man. In the comment section, I'm gonna say this here. Somebody said black men are expected to fight the whole world. How can you fight the whole world when you ain't done nothing in your own neighborhood first? So who is stupid enough to expect you to fight the whole world? You can't even fight in your own neighborhood. So clearly somebody is really overstepping. Fight for your own personal family, your wife and your children. There should be no such thing as a black man being forced to pay child support. That's your baby. That's your life. No court, no law should have to tell you to pay for your child. You should not even want nobody to pay for your child. But for those who don't responsibility, it's pointing finger things. Until men begin to step up to the plate and be men, this condition is not going to change, because only a man can move this. Only men can move this. There's a reason why the Caucasian racists called us boy. That's the position that he put us in, boy, and he still call us boy. Not in our face like they used to, still call you boy. And if you go down south, sometimes they still tell you, call you boy. But they try not to make it like something racist, but they call you boy down south. Look, we waste our time with these senseless debates. I mean, they're good, but again, they're not appropriate for the time. Talking about, am I African or am I an Aborigine? Is that how you pronounce it? Aborigine, whatever. I'm a native. What difference does it make? This is what you are in America. Reality check. You is an N blank GGER in this. This is what you are. Matter of fact, you even call yourself that. Whether you're supposed to be an African or a native, it don't make no difference. In this society, you are N blank GGER. That's what you are. Nobody tripping off of it. And it's to the point where you even call yourself that. So that's senseless debate. We become hypocrites. Some of y'all, you love melanin. I just love being black. And you talk pro-black, blackity black, y'all. So I love the melanin. Ain't nothing finer than somebody that's black. But then at the same time, when some of y'all get angry and upset, and see, when you're angry and upset and become emotional, the real you comes out. And so you love black and you love melanin, but then you'll turn around and call somebody like me or Tommy Sotomayor, brother Tommy Sotomayor, you'll call us crispy. And crispy is a word that you use to make mockery of those who have dark skin. Ain't that right, Sister Rashida?
Absolutely.
See?
I was always against that whole thing. I ain't even trying to bring up no names, but I remember when I had somebody present that to me a couple of years ago. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. Like you saying, it's a walking contradiction. You want to preach blackness and you want to be black, but at the same time, you want to demean blackness. I can't respect black people behaving like that. I don't even want to be bothered with them. Those type of black people are despicable to me, because it's either you in or you're out. You can't be towing the line like that. You can't be insulting blackness and then talk about you pro-black. That don't work. No.
And actually, the person that actually brought that to my attention really was Tommy Sotomayor, because he said, why are you calling me crispy, coon, Uncle Tom? All these words come from the racist slave master. That's where they come from. So right. Here you are, you don't like white people, and you don't like the racism and all, but you're using all these are racist terms that came from the slave master and their children. That's where it come from. You're so dumb, you can't even come up with your own words to make mockery of somebody. You actually are stealing words that have been used for 400 years, and we know what they meant. Some of these words, coon and Uncle Tom and crispy and all, and nigger and negro, some of these words was some of the last words many of our people heard before they was lynched, before they was killed. So why would you want to continue to use the word? Why would you want to use the word nigger? And I heard recently even Tommy Sotomayor was talking about he needs to stop doing that, because we know where it all comes from. Oh, I'm not saying nigger, I'm saying nigga, N-E-G-G-A or however they say it. No, you know what it comes from.
Well, it's to the point that black people have even sanctioned, which I got a huge problem with it, and got into debates with white people over this. Sanction white people, white rappers using the word nigger. No, you don't get a pass. No. Stuff like that enrages me.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to keep it. It's all a part of the discussion of Operation Mississippi, because I see Operation Mississippi as an actual solution, and I'm a solution-oriented person. I listen to people talk. I listen to the scholars. But at the end of the day, there's something called policymakers. Right. That's why in American government, the way that this country laid out, they have the scholars, and then those scholars are in think tanks, and they become policymakers. And they become lawmakers to say, this is how we want things. And it's the same thing with what I feel Black people need to do. We actually did this after slavery and during Reconstruction. So it's not anything new to us. I just kind of think we got comfortable with after civil rights. But we need to go back to politics. We need to go back to government, self-governing. We need to go back to that and quit talking, because a big part of the problem, I heard you talk about the men taking responsibility and that kind of thing. I'm a traditionalist. I believe that, well, I don't know if you want to necessarily call it a traditionalist, but I believe that the man should be at the head. That's just my belief. So, but we have things so messed up as a result of slavery and everything that we've gone through, that everything is kind of off balance. But again, that's not the solution. It's to continue to talk about it and beat a dead horse. It's to say, okay, this is what it is, but this is what we're going to do. Absolutely. This is the solution to the problem. And I know I just have to say this, you know, my father was in the Nation of Islam for a long time. And one thing I could say about him, I'm gonna go off of his example, is that he was a solution-oriented man that was at the head of his household. So I saw that, and I understand what that means. I understand a man stepping up and saying, okay, this is being a leader. That's what we got to do. And it does no good. I'm just going to say this. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really listen to a lot of what's being said by Black women on YouTube, but I'm gonna say this right here. It does absolutely no good to bash Black men in regards to the leadership capacity. Critique, yes. Bash, no. It's about a solution. Critique them. Anybody could do that. Critique me. But critique towards a solution. If you're not going to critique towards a solution, then you're the problem. You're just a talking head. And I personally don't want to hear it. So that's my whole thing. Black women have got to understand the situation that we find ourselves in America that's dysfunctional. But then we got to say, we got to correct this. We can't be out here saying, oh, F these Black men, you know, let me go and swirl. Let me go. That's running away from the problem. That's not going to help. That's called, you know, that's genocide to me. So it's all about figuring out a solution and then implementing. And of course, everything ain't going to always be smooth. So then you go back in and then you look at it and see what the results were, see what you need to change, and then revamp and continue to do that. That's what we need to be doing. So it's all a part of action and solutions. And that's how I'm seeing Operation Mississippi.
Yes, ma'am. And somebody, where's that? Get that feedback. Okay. All right. Okay. So we need to take ourselves serious. If we don't take ourselves serious, then all this becomes a joke. It becomes a joke. We have to stop being hypocrites to ourselves. See, brothers and sisters, many of us, we think that we have all the time in the world. We think that time is going to wait for us to get our act together. That's not how things work. For as we know right now, time might be gone right now. We don't know. But, you know, until it's clear that we've run out of time, then we need to do what we can appropriately and use that time that we have wisely. We don't have all the time in the world. So we want to play with time. But time waits for no one. Time is not going to wait until we get it together and get it right. I talk to brothers and sisters all the time, and they think they have time to get it right. No, you don't. You don't have time. You don't have time like that. But who would play with time? Who would disrespect time? Well, there's only one person that really could disrespect time, and that's those who are dead. Those who are dead, because there is no time for those who are dead. So I was in the Nation of Islam, and they told me that the Caucasian people called us Negro. We was called Negro at one time. And they said that the G in Negro, N-E-G-R-O, the G is interface from the Greek. You can use a C or a K, which turns the Negro into necro, and necro is the prefix for like necrology, which means the study of the dead. Those with a dead mind. So if we were Negroes or we have dead mentality, then this is the reason why we play with time. Because we're dead. Time really don't exist. So that's why you can just think that you got all the time in the world, because you're dead in the mind. You're playing with time, because time don't exist in your mind. Those who respect time, if you look in the animal kingdom, that which is alive respects time. So the ant knows that it's time to gather certain things and harvest, because time is going to mean cold weather. So I got to get ready and adjust for the time. But see, the dead don't have to adjust for the time. It can be winter, it can be spring, it can be fall, whatever. Don't make no difference for the dead, because time don't exist. But when you're alive, the bees respond, the birds respond, the deer respond. Any life form that is alive responds to time, because they know if they don't make it in time, they'll be like in the case of the ants. If they don't do what they need to do before winter hits, they know they could starve to death.
Right.
If they want to live, you have to respect time. And we don't respect time. So you think, well, I do. See, you really know, that you need to unify with Angel Snub Nub 7. You need to unify with Brother Gary. You need to unify with Brother Taalik. We know that we need to unify with each other, but we're going to take our time, when the right time go by. See, that's not how it works. That's because we have a dead mentality. Time don't exist for you, because when you're living and the only way that I can exist, I got to have these persons with me, whether I like you or not. Only a dead mind. Operation Exodus Mississippi. Why is it important? Operation Exodus Mississippi is alive. It's in accord with time. It's bringing us the right knowledge, all those things that we're talking about. It cannot be successful unless we create real men and women and children. Unless we create unity, otherwise it cannot work. It's on time, and it's on for you. It is the answer to our prayer that we claim that we've been waiting for a long, long time. The problem that we have right here is that we are doing good things. Brothers and sisters, look, we're doing good things. Many of our ideals is very good. The problem is, it's too many of us doing too many things. That's the problem. When you're trying to deal with cancer, you don't shoot cancer all over the body, all willy-nilly. You concentrate on the cancer, and it's a direct attack. But the way we're doing it, it's a little bit over here, a little bit over there. That's not, you're not going to be effective like that. You have to become one direct. That's what makes a laser beam so powerful. Don't you know that a laser beam, don't you know light is filled with rays, all types of rays. And a laser beam is light. But the difference between the laser beam and the regular light that's shining on my face right now is that that light becomes concentrated. And that's what makes it powerful and makes it deadly. This Operation Exodus Mississippi is like that laser beam. We're taking all of our ideas. What I'm presenting to us today is nothing but a foundation, but we're taking all our ideas and bringing it as one to make that laser beam. That's what we're doing here. It's too many people doing too many things. We need to concentrate on one thing and make it strong, make it like that laser beam, and focus and stay on the course, because it's the way to go. If we don't unify, if we can't get this together, then we as a people we're just dead. We're just dead men and women and children walking. Because the right situation, brothers and sisters, look, this is the time that we're living in. We've already been given warning. You had Hurricane Katrina, the best example. Look what happened to our people there. We also had the recent hurricane in Texas. We need to be looking out for ourselves instead of waiting for FEMA. And if the right situation happens in the world, brothers and sisters, we don't have nowhere to go. Now, people are running to America right now from Guatemala and whatever. But if something happened in America, what are we going to do? They are setting up sanctuary cities for immigrants coming to this country. Where we've been here abused and neglected and done unjust, oppressed, going on 500 years. Where is our sanctuary city? Where is our safe haven? Where can we go when we are being oppressed? When we become refugees? Long time ago, you know, they ran us from the south and we ran to the north. There was places that we could go. But now, where can you go? What can we do? If we cannot do this, brothers and sisters, if you think this is not serious and you want to take it for a joke, then, because none of the things that we're doing is going to ever work. That's just the bottom line. I'm telling you that. It's not going to work. So why don't you stop complaining as a man, stop complaining as a woman, and just take your whipping. Stop all this crying. Oh, the white man is doing this. And, you know, I used to be like that. I used to be like that. I used to be like that too. Oh, the white man this. And if they didn't take down my videos, you know, I really wasn't crying like a lot of these cats do. But I did blame the white man. But, I mean, it gets old. Oh, the white man do this.
Yeah, so it is.
It start getting old. Get old fast. You know, my videos getting taken down because I'm talking about what the white man has done. But it gets old. It gets old because we understand the white man. We understand that part. But you know you're not going to get no help from the white man, and you have to depend on yourself. What are you going to do? What are you going to do to change this condition? What is the solution? The solution is Operation Exodus Mississippi. Operation Exodus Mississippi is the catalyst. It's the foundation. It's the base that you use in order to get everything that we want. You want reparations? You can ask for that, but asking for reparations from the power base of a state, you're more able to probably chances to get it. And plus, if you control that state and doing your own thing, you can create your own reparations. See, do you understand what I'm saying? You can just take it. It's about taking it. And you don't have to use a bullet. It's about using your brain and being smart. Taking control of the state of Mississippi, you talk about reparations, you can take it because they get funds from the federal government. You can take your reparations. Don't have to beg. You talk about black business. Bring your business to Mississippi. All the laws that's an obstacle to black business, we are in a position to take all that down. And all you brothers and sisters who are entrepreneurs and business-minded, bring Bring your skills and your talent to Mississippi. Mississippi can give you low finance loans, all kinds of stuff that we can do as a state. You want a better education from the public school system? Well, now you control the state of Mississippi. You can change the public school system to fit your needs. Plus, you're doing it in a way, you're not going to interfere with the white people that's still there or the Asians that's there. Nothing you're doing is going to interfere with the lifestyle of anybody that's already there. Only thing you're doing is looking out for yourself for a change, gaining power for yourself for a change. That's all you're doing. You're not messing with nobody's life, and everything you're doing is 1,000% legal under the Constitution of the United States. That's why it would be very difficult for the federal government to come down just to harass the state of Mississippi, because we're trying to do something good for ourselves, because we are, the state of Mississippi is a state in the United States, protected by the federal government. So here you are already in an agriculture type state. You talk about we need better food. Here you go. We can create real organic food. When you buy the apple, it might be a worm in it. When I was growing up, apples had worms in it because we didn't use no kind of pesticides or nothing. See, we have to learn not to be so profit driven. In order to have real organic food, you gotta let the worm have a little bit. Let them have it. It's plenty enough for everybody. But the food is good, it's pure. Bring the soil back to the way it used to be by proper crop rotation instead of putting all these chemicals in it, because they're doing the same crops over and over and over again, depleting the soil of what's supposed to be in that soil, because they want to keep making money off this particular crop when they know they need to be rotating that stuff. But then they stopped doing that because they found ways to use all these synthetic chemicals in order to get that job done. So if these plants and animals that are eating these synthetically grown vegetables and animals, what you think that's doing to us as human beings? And you wonder why your children slow. You wonder why your children have autism. You wonder why we can't think at all, because our brains aren't being developed properly. As a child, you should, mama, you know you need to be giving your child breast milk. That's the best food on the planet for your child. So I ask brothers, especially these brothers that bash black women, I ask them, are you a breastfed baby or are you a Similac baby? They don't never answer, because see, look, when I was growing up and most of us was breastfed and we had that close tie to our mother, and I know some of y'all who are sort of on the older side, you remember the only thing somebody had to do was say, your mama. Now they don't even know your mama. And you get off, don't talk about my mama, you end up getting your butt whooped. That's the type. I don't care if your mama was a prostitute. I don't care if your mama was a crackhead. I don't care. You don't talk about my mama. Nowadays, you don't hear that no more. But nowadays, most of these young children are drinking Similac Infamil, these formulas. And so 2 things is bad. You're not getting the proper nutrition, so you're not getting proper brain development.
Right.
Because that Similac and that Infamil cannot copy the chemical composition of mama. Plus, when you're next to your mama, oh man. Look, I read an article not too long ago. I don't want to get nasty, but this is how it goes. They was talking about women's backside. They said that there are chemicals in women's backside that is necessary for the development of the child. And I didn't know that. They are always finding something. The woman's breast, her backside, everything about us as human beings, there's a reason for it. And so now we're developing human beings. You're not developed properly because you don't have that connection to your mother and you're not getting proper nutrition. Thus, we don't have proper brain development. But you can get all that when you take control of that state and control and grow your own food and make it real organic food. can change the flow of our people going into incarceration. As a state, you can even go to the federal government and ask for our people who are in asylum and those who are in prisons right now. We can ask for our people who were former members of the Black Panther Party or any type of activist organization from the 60s or whatever. We can ask for them to be released, give them to the custody of the state of Mississippi, and bring our people home so they can die in dignity after they fought for our liberation in the best manner that they could. I would rather Huey B. Newton and Dr. King and Malcolm, I would rather them spent some time in prison or whatever, and we could release them now so they could be here with us and enjoy the last of their days among us. And also they be alive so they can see that we as a people have grown to the point and we are really on our way to the liberation that they fought so hard for and was willing to die for. I got a little ways to go, y'all. Are you all right? Y'all all right? I got a little taste to go and we'll be done. And I want us to share what is being said this afternoon. I want us to share because I'm going to release this later as a response to Savior's Day, because that's really what this Soul Liberation Day really is. It's like a response to Savior's Day. I'm going to repost it when the Nation of Islam, Louis Farrakhan, has their Savior's Day, because I'm telling you, and I believe, and it's all with all due respect, this is the best Savior's Day speech you're going to get. We're on time. We have the right knowledge. It's appropriate. If we take action upon this, we can get the job done. Now look, y'all hanging? Let's hang just for a little bit more, because I know Savior's Day, they the brothers and sisters that listen to Minister Farrakhan, they listen to him for 4-5 hours. I'm not going to take 4 or 5 hours. I think I just done. It's an hour and a half.
Yeah, do your thing, man.
Do my thing, Brother Gary said. Let me do my thing. Let me get up on here and do my thing. We're gonna do this. Are you hanging, Brother Taalik?
Oh, without no question.
Okay, Brother Taalik said he hanging. Sister Rashida said she's hanging. She has a little baby she got to check on though. So we're gonna keep rolling here, y'all. Just bear with me. I'm telling you, this is the best talk you're gonna have in February. Nation of Islam have their Savior's Day convention in February, and you're already getting the fire that you really need for the rest of the year right now. Look. Oh, they tell me to keep rolling. Brother Leon said keep rolling.
Keep rolling, man. Go ahead, cuz.
We rolling on. We rolling on. Let me get a swig of this water here. Now look. See, look, y'all. We need to prove ourselves worthy of freedom. We need to prove ourselves worthy of the liberation. In our current state, our current mentality, the reason why we can't get nothing going really is because we're not worthy. You call yourselves gods. I'm a god and I'm a goddess. And you say that you're kings and you're queens. So this thing that we call Operation Exodus Mississippi, it should be very, very easy to do. It should be easy for a god to take control of a state. It should be easy for the kings and the queens to easily come forth and reclaim their throne. It should be easy to do that. You are God and you're goddess. Now, I understand y'all like those titles. God, you are God. The black man is God, y'all. You know that, don't you? The original man is the Asiatic black man, the God of the universe. You know, we come from Kemet, you know. You know, we're kings and queens. You know, y'all know all that stuff, right? And that's good. and that's good. However, you've done nothing to prove and show that you are a God, because God creates. What have you created, black man? Kings and queens rule over nations and countries. What nation, country that y'all rule over? What do you create, God? It's nothing but feel-good rhetoric. If you want feel-good rhetoric, I would suggest that you leave here, because I'm not about feel-good rhetoric. It's going to be real, or it's going to be nothing at all. I did not want, when I was locked up, they offered me partial freedom. You know, we'll give you a little bit. And if you're a good boy, we'll give you a little more. I don't want none of it. If I can't have freedom, I don't want nothing at all. I don't want none of it. And yes, it took a little while before I got the full freedom, but it was well worth it. That's why I'm talking to you right now. Because it's freedom or nothing at all. I don't want no little bit of this and a little bit of that. I don't want that. I want all. All of it or nothing at all. So we want to put ourselves in position. If you cannot take control of a state, and this state of Mississippi is already in existence, and you can't take control of it, and you're a god and a king and a queen, see, it makes no sense. Then you want to run around talking about, I want to build my own nation. We're going to go to Africa and build our own nation. How are you going to build your own nation in Africa, and you can't do nothing on the land that you know? And you think you're going to just go to Africa and do that on foreign soil? That don't even make any sense. But you can't take control of your neighborhood. You can't take control of your town. You can't take control of a state. But you're going to go to Africa, and all of a sudden, this is what's going to happen on foreign soil. And are those people going to tolerate you doing? Where are you going to do this at? But see, coming from the power base of a state, you prove to yourself that you can control government. Because see, this is what they want. They want you to take control of a state, and they want you to fail, because the first thing they're going to say to us is, see, Negroes can't do nothing. That's what they want you to take over a state, and they want you to fail. They want you to do that. There are many Negroes out there who's listening to me right now. That's what they want. Yeah, if y'all do that, y'all ain't nothing but a bunch of Negroes. I hate to disappoint you. And all we need is the right environment. All we need, and see, taking control of that state, you produce the right environment. Watch. See, y'all don't believe this. But just the fact that you begin to create a new environment and you begin to inspire. Look, y'all talk about Egypt, Timbuktu and Ethiopia and all these great civilizations. Beautiful and wonderful. But there's nothing like when you do something with your own hands. Nothing like that. Do you know how inspirational that would be to our young people when they see us taking control of a state, and everywhere they go, black folks run this, black folks run that, soul brothers and sisters, they run this, run that. And they looking at us do international trade. We sending our ambassadors to Africa. Say, for instance, as a state, we can send our ambassadors to the Congo, because the Congo is one of the biggest countries, nations, I heard, on the continent. They have plenty of land we could make a nation out of, for real. And we can make a deal. Support the Congo. Support the Congo by what we're doing in the state of Mississippi. And little by little, we start sending our babies and our children, sending them up to start little towns and cities on the land that the Congo get for us, because we got this deal with that African nation of the Congo. And next thing you know, 10, 20 years later, we got an outright nation, the nation that you claim that you want. And I want to say this to us. Look, See, for some of us, we want what we want when we want it. That's the wrong attitude to have. There are many Caucasian people from the Revolutionary War that never saw this nation become the great nation that it became. But they were willing to die for it. We who are living right now, we can begin this process, but we're not going to live to see the ultimate result. The only thing we can do is guide our children in the right direction, and they'll take it where it needs to go. But we are the pioneers. We will become the forefathers of a great nation, whether it be right here in America or on the continent, wherever we choose. But this is where it comes from. You got to have a place to start. In this land, Mississippi, it's not going to work. We need our brothers and sisters to be men and women. And we need to unify and take the appropriate action. But once you do accomplish this, it's going to fall apart unless you have the right mindset. Because I'm gonna use the N word. The N word, people like with that mindset, you're not gonna get nothing done. And you can be comedic and you can be a Christian, but y'all still have that N word mindset. It's not gonna work. You have to go to our people who are already residents in the state of Mississippi. You have to go to them and explain to them that we have to change our mindset, that we have to have a certain morality, certain laws and things that we can and cannot do. And we got to get up out of this materialistic mindset that we've been given living in this racist nation, so materialistic, and learn how to be modest and just modest living and concentrate on the love that a man has for his wife, the love the wife has for her husband, and the family have for their children, grandma to the cousins and so forth. We need to concentrate on love for our personal self and stop tripping on cars and diamonds. When they talk about Africa, look, when they talk about Africa, they always talking about the diamonds and the gold and the oil, those things. You never hear them really, they don't talk about the love of the people. That's your greatest asset, is the love of the people. A diamond ring and oil and gold, they can't love you. It means nothing. That gold and diamonds, all that stuff still going to be here when we dead and gone. But that connection that we have to our life, all those things are dead. All these things that we have out, all these things mean nothing if you're not connected to somebody that's alive. Brother Gary is more important to me than gold. Sister Rashida is more important to me than silver. Brother Talib is more important to me than money. All of you are more important to me than these material things. That's why I can come to you. You accept me how I am. That's why I can come on video with a suit on. And y'all know sometimes I come on video ain't shaved in days. Because you accept me for the human being who I am. You love me for if I got something, you love me if I don't. And if I don't have nothing, then you love me enough to share what you got with me. We all in this together as family. So within this state of Mississippi, there's a constant teaching, there's a constant bringing suggestion and advice to our people that we got to bring love to one another. We're not going to force, you don't want to force nothing on nobody. If they want to drink beer and get drunk and keep acting silly, so be it. They still want to do such, so be it. But we're trying to really reach the children, because the children are the main ones that's going to bring all this to fruition. The only thing we got to do is direct our children in the right direction, just like the racists did their children. Unfortunately, they directed their children in the wrong direction. We're going to do opposite than that. Don't you know how, oh, wow. Do you know how full of pride you would be? I know y'all talk about, again, the pyramids. And I heard the brothers talking about all these different things our people supposed to have done in the past or whatever. And you feel so good about that. But can you imagine the pride you will have when we are able to go to the Mississippi, and basically it's all soul brothers and sisters. We running the government, we running the politics, we growing our own food, we got all these thriving businesses, and all the other states, all the other people around the world looking at us. Here we are, slaves. We was drug dealers and whoremongers and drunks. And here we are, but we can come together and create this state. And we got international trade going. Don't you know? Don't forget. I'm not telling us not to ignore the great accomplishments of the past, but we are alive right now, and we need something big that we can feel proud of. All of us. We do this thing, this campaign called Operation Exodus Mississippi. We do that. All of us get the credit because the way it's designed, every man, woman, and child, even an infant, take that infant, put a seed in that infant's head, go to a farm and take a picture of that infant putting a seed in the ground. So when that child gets big, look what you did to create this. All of us, no individual, no organization gets the credit for Operation Exodus Mississippi. Of course, I'm bringing the idea, myself and Brother Taalik. Of course, we bring the idea. But all of us get the credit for this. It's about us, every man, woman, and child. And we become workers. We didn't mind working for the white man, picking cotton. Now you can go to Mississippi and we're going to pick cotton again, but it's for ourselves. Picking corn and tomatoes for ourselves. Oh, man. I remember growing up, I'm the child of a sharecropper. There's nothing, look, y'all, there's nothing like going into the garden and taking a tomato, pulling it off the vine, and eat that tomato straight off the vine. You don't have to worry about no chemicals or nothing. I didn't even wash the tomato off. I used to go to the garden and pull a turnip off the ground and knock a little of the dirt off and eat it straight raw. There's nothing, many of our children have never seen a seed go into the ground and then it produces the food that that child is going to eat. They've never seen that before. But in Mississippi, every man, woman, and child is going to see them seeds go into the ground, and you're going to produce your own food and build your own houses, plant your own forests, do all that for yourself. Everything that you want to is right here. This is the way to do it. And you're using the law and the politics. You're already in that position. Our brothers and sisters in Mississippi, and perhaps in Alabama, in many places and towns in this country, they are already in those positions. They just really don't know what to do. They don't have a real plan. This is the plan. This is what we're going to do. This is how we got ourselves. And if we do it, oh man, if the people from Kemet could come back, if the people from Timbuktu could come back and see what we have done in this modern time, they're going to say, damn, we built pyramids, but look what they done. And see, on top of that, look what you have done. You are in the process of destroying racism itself. That's what you're doing. You're creating a sanctuary state, a safe zone for all our people in the 48 states. If they get sick and tired of the hell they're catching in California or New York or Michigan, wherever they are, you create a savior and a sanctuary for our people. And when it gets too populated, then you put your eyes on the prize for Alabama and Georgia and Tennessee, wherever the sky's the limit. Least to say, for those of us who want to go back to the continent, now you're putting yourself in a position to go to the continent.